Hi and welcome back. Welcome to past perfect tense. That is what we are going to talk about today. Are you ready? Here we go. But before we get started, you should remember that I have eaten is an example of present perfect tense. I had eaten is an example of past perfect tense. And that's what we are talking about today. So let's move on. So we say that the past perfect tense expresses an action in the past before another action in the past. For example, let's have a look at this first. The train left at 9 o'clock. We arrived at 9:15. The train left at 9 o'clock. You remember that is an example of a simple past tense. We arrived at 9:15 too is an example of a simple past tense. So you remember that 9 o'clock, or we have 9 o'clock before 9:15. I'm talking about time. So talking about the past perfect, look at what we have. When we arrived, the train had left. So you understand that the train left, then we arrived. The train left, then we arrived. Now I'm going to change the order of the clauses. The train had left when we arrived. The train had left when we arrived. It is not difficult to understand. Now let's have more examples about the past perfect tense or the past perfect. Good. Our first example is when I went home, the children had already slept. So you understand that the part that has the children had already slept happened first, then the part that has when I went home. He'd left by the time you arrived at the house. You understand that he left, then you arrived at the house. Excuse me. He left, then you arrived at the house. When she went to the school, the classes had already started. The classes started, then she went to the school. You had already eaten by the time I brought you the food. You ate, then I brought you the food. When I entered my room, I realized that I'd left my wristwatch. I realized that I'd left my wristwatch there. So I left my wristwatch there. That's first. Then I entered my room. Then I realized that it is not difficult. Good, let's move on. So you say, when I went home, the children had already slept. But you do not say or use, when I had gone home, the children already slept. You say, when she went to the school, the classes had already started. But do not use or say, when she had gone to the school, the classes already started. You say, you had already eaten by the time I brought you the food. But do not say, you already ate by the time I had brought you the food. He'd left by the time you arrived at the house. But do not say, he left by the time you'd arrived at the house. Now let's have a look at this. The boy left when we came. You remember that left is a simple past, came to is a simple past. So you understand that the boy left when we came. The actions happened at the same moment. But you remember that the boy had already left when we came. The part that has the boy had already left happened first. Then the part that has when we came. I mean, in the boy had already left when we came, we do not say that the actions, you understand that the actions did not happen at the same moment. Good. So here we have, I left before he came. Left, simple past. Came to, simple past. You understand that the actions did not happen at the same time. Now look at this. I had left before he came. Past perfect, simple past. Here too, you understand that the actions did not happen at the same time. But in I had left before he came, you understand, or we say that the leaving happened further back in time than the arrival. You should be able to understand the difference that exists between sentences like these. Let's move on. And here I had bought 5 houses by the time I was 20. You understand that this talks about time up to then talking about the 20 years. Here I bought 5 houses when I was 20. You understand that the houses were bought during the time that I was 20. Here I've bought 5 houses so far. You understand that it talks about time up to now. So we've got time up to then and time up to now. Good. Let's move on. I think this is useful. So I think I've lost a friend. Look at what we have. I think I've lost a friend. I thought I'd lost a friend. I think I've lost a friend. I thought I'd lost a friend. I think we've met before. I thought we'd met before. I thought we'd met before. I know that I've not been here before. I've not been here before. I knew that I had not been here before. I've been there before, so I know the way. I had been there before, so I knew the way. I think it's important to see the difference, to understand sentences like this. So let's move on. This is another use. Reported speech, indirect speech. So you remember is becoming was, are becoming were. And this is what we are talking about. Heard is the simple past of hear. So simple past becoming past perfect. Had heard. Saw is the simple past of see. So we have had seen. Helped. Had helped. Took. Had taken. Ate. Had eaten. So you see here, heard, the simple past of hear, saw, the simple past of see, helped, the simple past of help, took, the simple past of take, ate is the simple past of eat. So now let's have examples. So our first example is she said, I saw him. You remember that this is a direct speech. Now, indirect speech, we have she said she'd seen him. She'd seen means she had seen. She had seen him. She said she'd seen him. She said, I heard him. She said she'd heard him. He said, I helped her. He said he'd helped her. He had helped her. He said, I took the thing. He said he'd taken the thing. He'd taken the thing means he had taken the thing. So you remember this. I've explained the direct and indirect, the reported speech. I've explained that, I remember. So let's move on. Here too is another use, and I think these are our last examples. So let's see what we have. I wish that I had studied for the exam. What it means is that I express regret about the past. It means I did not study for the exam. So I regret not studying for the exam. Let's have more examples. I wish that I'd listened to my father. I'd listened means I had listened. So it means I regret not listening to my father. Wish that we'd gone home earlier. So you see, it means we regret not going home earlier. They wish that they'd agreed to our terms. It means they regret not agreeing to our terms. This is the last example. She wishes that she hadn't rejected the offer. It means that she regrets rejecting the offer. So you see, I had studied, I'd listened, we'd gone, they'd agreed, she hadn't rejected. It is not difficult. So let's have a look. Just a reminder that contractions are often used in informal speech. So that's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was interesting. And now I say, until next time.